Hey there, I'm Julie, and we are celebrating Griffith Park through crochet as part of the Autry Museum's exhibition investigating Griffith Park. Today I'm demonstrating how to crochet an earthworm, like this. A humble but important inhabitant of Griffith Park. To crochet an earthworm, follow along with the video. You can pause and replay and reference the written pattern as needed. Once you've completed the earthworm, send it to us and we'll include it in the exhibition. Information about where to send the crochet pieces is provided at the end of this video and on the website. To start, you'll need yarn and a crochet hook. I used a 3.5 millimeter or E hook with DK weight pink acrylic yarn. Acrylic yarn is important for this project as natural fibers could bring insects into the gallery. You'll also need a tapestry needle and scissors. The simple form of an earthworm gives us an opportunity to look at a variety of basic crochet techniques. I encourage you to be creative with this project and feel free to submit an earthworm of your own design. I tried several different techniques before settling on the free form pattern that I chose. Here's a worm made with a cable technique. This worm is made using tapestry crochet. These two are using a chevron type of pattern, and in the pattern I will be showing you, you can deviate from my instructions by increasing stitches more or decreasing stitches more in order to make the worm squiggle any way you like. To begin, we'll make a slip knot. To do this, we'll make a loop with the tail end on top and then take the yarn from the yarn ball side and draw it through the loop, holding on to that tail to make sure it doesn't get lost. Okay, now insert the hook into this active loop. We need to shrink it a little bit. So draw on the yarn from the yarn ball side. And now we're going to make 30 chains. To do that, you yarn over, which means yarn over the hook, and then turn the hook downward so it's facing the bottom of the loop and draw it through the loop. Try that again. Put the yarn over the hook, turn the hook down, and draw it through the loop. So that's 2. Now we have 3, 4, 5, and we'll do 25 more. Now we've worked 30 chain stitches. You can tell how many chain stitches you've worked by counting them. As you see, each chain stitch forms a sort of V on its side with a front loop, the one that's closer to you, and a back loop, the one that's further away. If we flip the chain over, we can see that there are little bumps down the center. These are called the back ridge loop. So we'll be working our next row into this back ridge. Okay, now we're in row 1. So we're going to make sure we're working on the back side of the chain in the back ridge, and we'll insert the hook into this second stitch. We skip the first one. We draw up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, and draw the top loop through the bottom loop. That is a slip stitch. Now we're going to work 2 single crochets, one in each of the next 2 chain stitches. So still in the back ridge, insert the hook and draw up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and draw through both loops. There we have a single crochet. Now we're going to do another one in the next stitch. So insert the hook into that back ridge. Sometimes it's hard to get your hook in there. Draw a loop, have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and draw through both loops. Now we're going to do 2 increases, 1 in each of the next stitches. So an increase is where you put 2 stitches in the same place. So we'll insert the hook into the back ridge, draw a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and draw through both loops. Now for the second stitch, second single crochet in the exact same place, insert the hook and draw up a loop, 2 loops, yarn over, draw through both loops. We do need to do another increase in the next chain. So 2 single crochets in the same place. Now you can see that when we do the increases, not only are we adding stitches, but also the earthworm form is starting to take shape. You can see that it's starting to turn. So now we're going to do a single crochet, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So insert the hook, drop the loop, 2 loops, draw through both loops, and do that in the next 2 stitches as well. Oops. Now we're going to do decreases, 2 decreases over the next 4 stitches. So we're going to do that by inserting the hook into the next chain, draw up a loop, and then insert a hook in the chain after that and draw up a loop. We have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and draw through 1, 2, 3 stitches. It's also called single crochet 2 together. So let's do another one. Insert the hook into the next stitch, draw up a loop, insert the hook into the stitch after that, draw up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and draw through all 3 loops. And then can't really tell after those 2 decreases, but if we put 1 single crochet in the next stitch, we can see the change that those stitches made to the shape of our worm. So we can see the increases made the worm rise to the top of a hill, and now the decreases went into a ditch. So now we're going to do 2 more single crochets, 1 in each of the next 2 chain stitches. And we're going to then do the increases again. So 2 increases in the first chain, two increases in the second chain, take a look at our worm and see what's happening. Here we're going, back to the top of the hill. Now let's continue and make the side of the hill. That's 3 single crochet stitches, 1 in each chain. Now we're going to do another 2 decreases. So insert the hook into the next chain stitch, draw up a loop, insert the hook into the following chain stitch and draw up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops, and we'll do another decrease. And now, because I wanted to make a worm that didn't just zigzag, it also made a little bit of other movement, and to represent the clitellum, which is the thicker part of the worm. So I'm going to put half double crochet stitches now. So 1 half double crochet stitch in each of the next 3 chains. So yarn over first, and then insert the hook into the back ridge still and draw up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and draw through all 3 loops. And we're going to do that again in the next 2 stitches. Now we're at the top of the hill, and we're going to put 2 half double crochets, 1 in each of the next 2 and final chains at the moment. So that's 1 half double crochet, and then a second one in exactly the same place. And then yarn over and go into the last chain stitch. Insert the hook, draw up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, draw through all 3, and a second stitch in the same place. Still the half double crochet. And there you go. You're at the end of the chain. But we're going to do something a little tricky here, which is now chain 8. So this last chain is our turning chain. We skip it and flip the chain over. So we're on the back again, and insert the hook into this back ridge here. We'll make a slip stitch. So draw up a loop, 2 loops, yarn over. Oh, no yarn over, top loop through the bottom loop. And then into the next stitch, we'll insert the hook. And we're going to do a single crochet, 1 in each of the next 3 stitches. So we're working our way back to the body of this worm. And then we're going to do a decrease here. So we're going to insert the hook into the next chain stitch, draw up a loop, insert the hook into the chain stitch after that, draw up a loop, and strangely enough, we're going to do another one. We're going to insert the hook into that last chain stitch and draw up a loop. We have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over and draw through all 4. And then we're going to slip stitch to the bottom, what used to be the bottom of this half double crochet stitch we made before, and draw the top loop through the bottom loop. Now let's look at our worm as it is now. So there's one end. I'm not going to say heads or tails. And here's the other end, and we have the kind of thicker clitellum here and all those ups and downs of the worm. Now you can stop here and say your worm is done, or else if you'd like, you can slip stitch across the worm to give it a little more dimension. And so that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, so let's add a little more dimension to the worm. We're going to just add some slip stitches. So to start, insert the hook into the next stitch, draw up a loop. You have 2 loops, draw the top loop through the bottom loop. And do that all across the half double crochet section. So one more, and then I can remove the hook and put it in the opposite way. Insert the hook at the other side, the bottom of those half double crochets. Actually, when we made them, it was the top. Make a slip stitch there and then turn around and start working in the other direction. Trying to make the Clitellum a little puffier like it is on an earthworm. So go all the way, actually to the end of the worm. Again, I won't guess if that's the head or the tail. And actually, don't go into the slip stitch. Just go into that second to last stitch, which is a single crochet. So go into the last single crochet, and then you're going to remove the hook, insert it the opposite way, and go to the top of that single crochet, slip stitch there, and then start working your way back. Once you get to the Clitellum area, you might want to move to sort of the center of the worm when you're slip stitching, but this is not an exact science. You're just sort of adding dimension here. So filling it in however you like. And this time you're going to go past the Clitellum and all the way to the opposite end of the worm. After you do that, you can remove the hook, rotate the worm, and start slip stitching all the way back. And then you'll be finished with the Griffith Park earthworm. So we slip stitched all the way down to the end of the worm and then slip stitched all the way back, but just until the end of the clitellum. Now I've turned and I'm going to make one more pass at the clitellum just to give it a little more width. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to remove the hook, insert it on the opposite side, and draw that loop to the back. Find my scissors and cut a tail, and then draw that end through the loop and fasten off. And there is my completed earthworm. I'm not going to weave in the ends, as these can be used to attach the worm to the exhibition. If you did want to weave in the ends, just be sure to do it on the back side. Thanks for watching, and check out the information at the end of the video to find out where to send your piece in order to have it included in the exhibition. Bye!